Yes, you're going to have to tell me about that.
I'll think about it. I'll consider it.
There we go. We're live now.
We could get crazy. Hey, everyone. What's going on? We're talking about fiber, desk, and all kind of crazy things.
Yes.
There's a desk right there. It's that carton back there.
And Pedro's like, I don't have a desk. You got a desk right there, man. It's been there the whole time.
No, it arrived 10 minutes before I actually sat down and plugged into Jitsi.
No, man, no. It's your desk from the last place. It was lonely. It disguised itself.
Aww.
That was a dining table.
It didn't know, man. It had dreams and aspirations of becoming a computer desk. How dare you?
Well, it lived those dreams for about a year and 3 months, 4 months, something like that.
Rohit would like to welcome you back, Pedro.
Thank you, Rahit. Much appreciated.
Rahit. How do you pronounce underscore?
Underscore.
Hi, Mir. Hi, Linux.
It's like you're from Hartlepool.
Uh-oh, they're gonna have some fun. Yeah, Pedro, we missed you on Saturday.
Hey, Pedro, Jill missed you on Saturday.
Did you? Because I saw the show with him. It seemed fine.
Yes. Oh, yes. We love our leprechaun T-hand. Hello, Strider. It is Matthew's 40th birthday today.
Oh, happy 40th, then, Strider.
I know I didn't get the movie poster done in time, but I really wanted like a 20 by 30 of the 40-year-old edgelord.
Hi, Art Theron.
Coming out.
Yeah.
This spring.
So yeah, we're having a LGC party on Saturday, and also celebrating Matthew's, otherwise known as Strider's, birthday. Yay!
All right.
Nothing like a little insult to injury.
Yeah, yes.
I can't even have my own little party. I have to share it with these guys.
Yeah. Well, last year we actually we took him to a restaurant here locally, and he had a quiet birthday here. But,
Did he embarrass you with his table manners?
No, no, he's wonderful. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, yeah, Patrick. Well, I don't have Christmas presents yet for everyone, so, but I know if you make this trip, this will be Christmas for you. Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, no, at work it's only me and Heather, the web officer. We're the only two sub 40. Everyone else is either 40 or higher.
You need to endear yourself. I say for Christmas, get everyone walkers. With tennis balls on them.
Man, that's what
I'm pretty sure Dave and Nathan would just beat me with them.
Yeah.
I've thought about this. It's win-win.
And I gotta be nice to Dave. He actually helped me move everything over, so yeah. No. I paid him for the gas, and I gave him some beer.
Okay,
I was gonna have pizza, but
petrol.
we were gonna have some pizza too. But he's like, "Yeah, no, I gotta go." Like, okay, it's Domino's though. Man, it's almost dinner time.
100%. I saw that was on the Reddit like 3 days ago. It was the helping your friend move starter pack, and it's like petrol, pizza, alcohol.
Yeah.
Hello, Steve Husband Boo. Yes, they're talking about walkers. I know.
Walker, Texas humor.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You got to think about Steve. You know that like effed up car that follows the guys around in Top Gear that no one wants? It's like the Walker to Steve. It's around the corner, just like sitting back there around the hill, like looking at him. It's like, soon. I joke because I've had to use a walker, so I can make walker jokes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Tennis balls are legit.
I was wheeled out of a hospital once in a wheelchair. Does that count?
Well, I graduated from the wheelchair, so yes. Man, what is that? An Amiga Walker? Oh, geez.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I kind of want to build a system in one of those now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let Amiga die. Let's all get hyped up about AMD's new rumors from Adored TV.
Oh.
Hey?
Good Steve has been...
See, I've cleverly hidden this news in the show notes for Saturday.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the show notes today.
This is how I keep stuff from Pedro.
Yeah.
I've actually been doing a good job of actually reading through all the stories as they show up, but I didn't check them today because we were putting IKEA furniture together.
Oop. 3080, 37, and 3060. Prices leaked. Speculate.
Navi.
Mm-hmm. Look at the prices on bread, though. That's to be believed.
Yeah, no, see, that would give NVIDIA a bit of a worry if the performance holds up, obviously.
Yeah, if that's even remotely legit, and I can get something that'll compete with a 2070 or a 1080 for sub $300, NVIDIA, you got problems.
Yeah, something that performs close to a 1080 for 250, that's pretty good.
That's a good thing, because you're looking at I am actively talking myself into getting the 2070 right now. I mean, I committed to this process. I know how it goes with me. And but like, why do you even have RTX in a 2070? Because it runs like poo with the 2080.
Yeah.
What's the point? I don't need the RTX tax.
Let's see.
Make Strider not buy an RTX. Change his mind.
2070, if you're on an old generation, 2070 is the one you should be looking at if you have to upgrade right now.
I saw a weapon the other day, and it made me think of Strider. Let me see if I can put it in here.
Although that 3060 being fully PCIe powered, if that holds up and they can compete with the 1050, that's very good. That's very good.
Next level, man.
Murder baguette.
There can be only one, man.
Oh.
Why did you bring a baguette to the riot?
There's going to be confiscations of that. Baguette inspection.
Man, France doesn't even trust baguettes anymore. Yeah, no. The RDX launch, even without the minor non-issue that were the 2080 Ti's burning themselves down, which appears to be a very limited number of them.
No, Pedro.
Even without that.
No, they're all on fire everywhere, constantly. I am heating my house with them right now. You just set them on the floor. Wait a minute. And it's like, hey, look, nice little fire.
Hi, Jelly
Yeah,
Bean,
no, it was a
brother.
very disappointing release, to say the least.
Here's the thing. Everyone was like, NVIDIA, you need to release something better than the 10 series. They're just like, okay, boom. Not that. Not at that price.
Well, what kind of competition do we have? Why shouldn't we price it however we want? That's the big one. It's the pricing.
Well, I think one of the issues with that was everyone thought. I remember watching the 10 series event, going, "Yep, these things are going to be $1,000," and they're like, "Yeah, $400." It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't happen this time.
No. They did that with both Maxwell and Pascal. It's like, yeah, the price for this is well below what you expected. Oh, that's cool.
I mean, I genuinely made that joke. I'm like, what is it going to cost during the live event? And they were showing the 1080. I was like, it's printed on the card.
Yeah, no, I hope Navi can at least perform like as well as the 10 series. That would be great.
Requires a 1,000-watt power supply.
Yeah.
And it has to be dual GPU.
No, man, it's just like, why does this have 4 8-pin? Oh.
Yeah.
So you're asking me to use two 12-volt lanes on my power supply and put them both into a PCIe add-in card.
Yeah.
Hey?
I think
What?
Navi will be good. I think it's not going to compete with the 2080.
No.
But it'll fill that niche if they did it right. I mean, something, that will compete with last gen, the 10 series.
And that's fine. That's kind of where AMD should be aiming anyway, because if you want to be competitive in price, even though Lisa Su said that they weren't going to do that anymore, really? Did you have to say that?
Well, one has to imagine that Navi as a discrete solution is probably not where AMD's planning on selling that. When I mean selling it, they're going to be selling it to two particular companies because it's going to be integrated with a Ryzen product, and those products will be the PS5 and the Xbox, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Because you want to be able to ship those for that 4 to 5 years of guaranteed revenue.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's Navy. That's how Navy works.
In the Navy.
Yeah.
Oh, and hello, Chibsy. Yay, Chibsy.
I was irritated, man. I found tracksuit pants and I couldn't find a top.
Hey, Katana.
Just trying to go for like full Malentavo.
Katana.
Ooh, by the way, Jill, since I still have to find some people to replace me while I'll be in Portugal, would you be able to do a Linux Gamecast either on, let me find the dates, either on the, let's say, the 23rd or the 30th?
No problem.
Okay, very good. Well, you will have one of those days. I will ask someone else for the other one.
Okay.
Pedro's not from Spain, but he takes holiday like he is.
Oh my god.
Look,
So
I didn't use my holidays, well, my paid holidays at any other point during the year, basically. So it's like, yeah, okay, December it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna be on the big show, huh?
Yes.
Pedro invited you to. He hasn't run it by me yet.
I know. I guess I gotta cuss a little bit, huh?
Well, you have to. I mean, it is Saturday night.
Yes. I do.
And you can do it. You can do it. We've heard you do it, so it's fine.
I'm not resetting the compressor settings. We're just going to let that run it. Yeah, that's just going to run itself down until the levels get back into a reasonable state. Then I'll open that channel back up.
Oh my god. Aw. Thank you, Pedro. You didn't ask Ben first.
I know, so I get to be the one to like...
I don't know if he approves.
It's a risky move.
You're already hosting a show. Chances are you've already been vetted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No problem, Pedro. It'd be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Pedro's still got to clear it with me, though, so...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Van, is it okay if Jill hosts one of those days instead of me?
He's not right here on live internet.
Think about it. I mean, I don't know.
All right, I'll find someone else in the meantime.
Yeah, man.
Effing fifth?
What?
I don't know. Linux Zero was just evening. Effing fifth.
Effing fifth?
Not fifth, just fifth.
I don't know.
Yeah, Jill's giggle button is apparently the mute button.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 22nd, I think, is like the 23rd and the 24th are a Monday and a Tuesday.
Yeah, it would be on the 20. Yeah, it would be on the 22nd for you. I forget that I'm like 8 hours ahead.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, because you're ahead. Of course, because that's Christmas Eve for you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the 22nd and the 29th.
Cool.
One of those, and I don't know. See if Foxy. There he is. If Foxy wants to host one of them as well.
We're gonna have a talk.
Oh my. Well, this is a big show too, of course. But yeah, the Saturday show.
Sorry, Strider, you don't get to be on the show anymore. My bad.
I was thinking Foxy because it's been a while since Foxy's been hosting, but yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna do a show. I'm gonna make some tea. And we'll get to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it feels good to finally be able to go on eBay and look at the really cheap electronic stuff and go, ooh, I'd like one of the. Oh, wait, I'm going to be moving. Yeah, I better not order that. So yeah, it's good not to have to think about that anymore.
Aww. Linux Gennaro. Giggling breaks. Kitty. Oh yeah, so today I have my LGC merch that's not in the store. The LWW children.
Yeah, no, there is a surprising variety there. Ven kind of went like, no, let's put this on everything. He's like, ooh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping the white on the pink shows up really nicely. It is a. I was hoping it'd be a little darker pink, but well, we'll see. It seemed to be okay.
No. Turbo neon pink or GTFO.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the sad thing about these services is they don't allow you to do black on light colors, just you know, because of the way they do the ink. So that's always been a bummer, because that would be really cool, a black lettering on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew, I ordered mine within 10 minutes of then putting it up. So.
Yeah, no, I know that winter is coming, so make sure you get the new LGC hoodies.
Yes.
Show your love for Frank.
Yes. I know, I do love the Franks, but I figured the Frank mug wasn't as appropriate for LWDW, so I'll buy that one next. So I got the one chair, and then I'll probably get the moon, the 3-chair moon one, and then Frank. I want to get all the mugs and all the shirts. And I actually want one of the long sleeve shirts. I was thinking of getting the Frank one with a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah. No, the one chair one looks very good on a hoodie from their pictures there. So
yeah,
that's me.
That's the one you're gonna get. Cool. Yeah. Oh, good, Matthew. You got the 3 chairs mug. Cool. Yeah, I'll buy all the merch.
All of it. It's all mine.
Merch.
Yeah, no, the 3-chair moon is like, yes.
Yeah.
That's the hard game there, Lwdw. The very hard game.
Romeo's admissions. He says, I don't want to die.
Well, there's one thing you need to keep in mind. You only have the one liver, so...
Aww.
Why's everyone being so quiet?
I don't know. I started switching cameras around and I thought, ooh, maybe I missed it. Yeah. Let's go. So I was just being quiet in preparation.
Pedro, what the hell, man? Do you think I can't chew bubblegum and walk at the same time?
No, it was...
See, I can mute him like that. It's not like he has to be quiet. He can talk. And...
I thought it was me who had missed the let's go. It's like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
Nah.
Yeah, we don't have a clacker anymore. Haven't had a clacker in a while.
A clacker. Should I be worried? Is there a clacker somewhere in my house? Oh no.
That's actually what they call them.
A clapboard?
Clacker? Yeah, a clacker.
I dare you to do an Amazon search for a clacker. Yeah. I'll do one for a clapboard.
No.
We'll see who gets what. Do clacker
search
it
shows up. It does show up. There are a couple that are called the Clacker.
Yeah.
The clacker.
There's a name brand called the Clacker.
I wouldn't buy something called the clacker on principle.
Yeah, it does sound kind of like an STD,
doesn't it? It sounds like something you catch.
Yep.
Oh man, got a clacker.
Man, I came down with the clacker and the cream isn't working.
Spit mad fire. Oh yeah.
Oh, the two balls on the string that you go doom, 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 doom.
Man, if you want something immediately slapped out of your hands, bring one of those near me.
Yes, I bet. I bet.
All right. Let's do a show.
Yes.
Boom. I gotta remember to do that. It's lined up. That's good. So we'll cut from that. And I bet we get some recordings going. Why not? You want to record this one just for fun?
Yeah.
See what happens?
Might as well.
Why not?
Oh yeah, well, this is the first Lwdw on Twitch. That'll be cool.
Right. And there we go. And welcome back to Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we're going to sit back, relax, and talk about some of the exciting things going on in the world of Linux, open source, and all that other fun, terrifying, spooky stuff. If you're a Windows user, run. I'm Vin. That's Jill. That's Pedro. We're doing the thing. Hey, Pedro, you're back. You moved like 3.5 meters from your last spot. You had a run-in with a desk, and now there's a desk behind you.
Yes, you see that curtain that's standing up over there that's leaning on the sofa? Yeah, that's my desk. Because, yeah, I had a run-in with the desk.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. That's not how... it's not a very good desk.
They only delivered half of it. How do you only deliver half of a desk?
In 2 parts, I'm guessing. I mean, I'm not a betting man, but...
Yeah, no, all in the UK, ladies and gentlemen.
You heard it here. Only the UK. They have misshipments on lockdown. What's new with you, Jill?
Oh, well, I've been having fun playing with the Blender beta, which we are going to be talking about in the show. And our Linux game class streams this week were all a great success, including the Friday Night Foobar Nerd Jeopardy. Yay, that was fun. And the D&D Dungeon Crawler RPG with Jordan. All were very fun.
We did good on Nerd Jeopardy until we got to the end where this was kind of on me. It made it more entertaining because I just picked Windows for our last category. Turned out it was like Windows Phone 7.
Yes.
Which we just ate the entire time. Yeah. It was kind of interesting. Over here, I've been doing a bunch of things, playing around. My latest project is to get kernel 4.19 up and working with our render box because of just some UDEV rules that I've had to create in order to get the encoders to work, and I'm not making much progress on that, but it's going to be a while before I have to worry about that. Since I'm on 1804, I got a decade to get that sorted.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Speaking of time, 2019, moving forward.
Oh yes, 2019 is right around the corner, and with it comes a Linux invasion, apparently, according to Network World. So this article was titled, Linux will seem to be everywhere in 2019. Faster, more versatile, and secure. Linux gets better every year. Let's take a look at some of the highlights expected in 2019. And this is basically Conjectureville, if the subtitle didn't give it away. And they give a little bit of a rundown of how Linux has already been running the cloud, how it basically runs all of the servers and all of the heavy compute workloads currently ongoing. Most of them run on Linux. And, well, there are a couple of extra things that are also coming, and machine learning is the hot new thing. And everyone wants to push for dominance in what is only just now becoming a market segment all of its own. So Jill will talk to you about the bits about the AI, but yeah, Linux is also king of the server and supercomputer. If you have something that has that much horsepower and you need to have it properly distributed and you need to be able to control where that power goes and what runs what, you want to use Linux. That's just how it goes. So yeah, no, it's to be expected, so it's not going to be the year of the Linux desktop, but it will be a nice year for Linux, I think.
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. I thought this was a really great article. And as Pedro, you're saying, yes, this is actually 2019 will be the year that AI will go mainstream. And of course, Linux is, as Pedro said, is not only driving the cloud infrastructure for AI, but the supercomputers that run them. And, you know, we know that Linux rules the world. I mean, that's just, we all know that as Linux users. And now the mainstream is starting to see that little penguin everywhere. And one of the other really cool things is that Linux conventions are not only growing in attendance, but more conferences with a greater diversity of topics are slated for 2019. I mean, you know, we even have Linux for cars and Linux for the robotics industry conventions. All these sub-conventions under the regular, you know, large Linux cons and community run events like the Southern California Linux Expo. So they are just growing like gangbusters, and the more conventions, the better.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a thing. This article does start out by stating something that kind of grinds my gears just a little bit. It's saying people are using Linux without ever knowing it. Kind of in a way. Maybe a small issue, and I know it's phrasing. We're still doing phrasing. Maybe you can say, you know, I don't believe that really necessitates like people using Linux. People are running Linux without knowing they're doing it. I don't think they're using it. Is that fair to say? Is that crazy talk? Am I just being more curmudgeon-y
You're
than
being
normal?
a bit semanticist, but sure.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's just like, you know, Android. Everyone's using Android, but most people don't know they're using Linux, you know? So.
It's like, man, we have a lot of QNX users in the crowd. I'm like, QNX, what's that? It's in your car. The article does point out we have data lakes, AI, supercomputing, and kernel 5.0 if it's ready for 2019. And as Jill, you pointed out, a gang of conferences. So
yeah,
we've definitely seen that grow in the last decade. In the mythical year of the Linux desktop, Pedro, when do you think that /dot joke will finally die, if ever?
The day Windows says, yeah, Windows is now based on the Linux kernel. Everyone's running Linux now.
Next week, guaranteed. Okay.
Through that.
OpenPhysX. This came out, and then everyone, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
From NVIDIA.
This is awesome.
NVIDIA extends PhysX for high-fidelity simulations, and more importantly, it is gone. Open source. It's the license. It's 3-clause BSD. Completely compatible with GPL, approved by the FSF and OSI. And I saw almost immediately, it's like, drivers aren't open source. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yes.
100%. I feel you. I have that anger, but I also believe it's important to reward good behavior with, hey, good job, NVIDIA. And I'm like, but what about the drivers?
To be fair, AMD's drivers aren't 100% open source either, because you still need that proprietary blob even to use Mesa.
Be quiet, Pedro.
Acceleration.
Nope, you're an NVIDIA shill. 100%. I don't know. It's very important to remember that PhysX is not GPU dependent. I mean, it's something that can take place on your CPU as well. And
very taxing on the CPU, but
yeah, it's still a thing. I mean, you could do software render back in the, I guess you still could, probably a lot better. I do believe we will see adoption in AI for the synthetic data creation. I think that would be a thing, creating real world environments for AI to learn from. Like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But I've seen a lot of people coming back and saying, games, man, this thing, all the PhysX games. So I had to go look up. And if Wikipedia is to be believed, it's known to be edited by manatees. However, going by that data, only 60 plus under 70 games have been made utilizing PhysX since 2006.
Yeah. That's still a significant amount, and most of those are AAA titles.
That's a significant amount.
It's a significant amount in the way that something that's included in AAA games just went open source. Yes, that's significant. Regardless of the amount, to be fair.
Expectations about the adoption of this.
Yeah. But no, absolutely. Good on you, NVIDIA, if this is your way to get back some good press after the RTX release and the minor kerfuffle that were the couple of RTX 2080 Ti's that caught fire. Good on you. Seriously, good on you.
Yeah. Well, as we know, PhysX, of course, is used widely in the industry, and PhysX 4.0 will be faster and more stable and improve functionality in the Unity and Unreal game engines. Yay! We need that. That will really help animating in Unity as well. And NVIDIA clearly understands that AI and big data all run in open source engines and Linux, and they really want to be a part of that. And yeah, I mean, they see that coming. They see AI is all Linux based, and PhysX is being, PhysX being open sourced is just, it's huge. It's actually really huge, but it doesn't surprise me because NVIDIA is working on their supercomputers for autonomous vehicles and whatnot. And one of my points to this is now Steam Play and Wine Windows games on Linux might launch faster. Yay! So we won't see that little spinning icon for running Steam Play for PhysX to launch, because we'll have it natively in Linux.
It would be nice to see like the Nouveau drivers get, oh, that's how it works. Okay, we can build this into what we already have.
Yeah.
That would be nice. And you can do really that because it's an actual open source license.
Yes, exactly. And thank you to Scott Machad in chat for the great article at PC Perspectives.
You hear that, Scoots? Your last name is Machad instead of Michaud.
Machad. I'm sorry, Scott. I said your name.
You just got blown up, man.
I know you're.
I'm just saying, maybe temper your expectations. I don't think we'll have Tress FX and Hairworks style PhysX stuff in game, even though it's completely available in a later version. Previous versions are available in Unity, Unreal Tournament, but with Epic's Unreal Engine, maybe, who knows? We'll see. Man, okay, Blender 2.8 is it amazing? The beta is it crazy?
It's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sell me.
Yeah. So this is a major update that us animators have been looking forward to for a very long time. And Ton Rosendahl, thank you. This is a beautiful, beautiful release. And again, this is the Blender 2.8 beta that you can download and play with right now. And it was running really stable for me. So I haven't had any problems with it. But there are so many major changes, it's hard to go through all of them. But first off, the user interface has major changes which keep Blender in line with the workflow of proprietary animation software. And that includes left-clicking to select in the viewports, interactive object gizmos, and separate workspaces for modeling, animating, sculpting, and texture painting. And the other major thing is there is a new renderer called EV, is a new physically based real-time renderer. It works both as a renderer for final frames and as the engine driving Blender's real-time viewport for creating assets. And another major update is the 2D animation grease pencil has now been fully integrated with the 3D workflow. And this puts Blender way ahead of any of the proprietary softwares in the industry that do not do 2D very well. So this is huge. Blender does 2D and 3D. It's your whole animation workflow. And one of the other major updates is the ray tracing engine cycles now renders 30% faster and lets you combine GPU and CPU rendering together. This is a first in the industry. None of the other proprietary softwares do this. So this is a real game changer. And I was really excited about this because the UI reminds me of the original 3D Studio for DOS and Lwdw, which I learned animating on in my early years of animating in the late 80s and early 90s. So they were trying to keep in line with the classic animation workflow of the other programs, and they've done it. It's
nice.
Really awesome.
Pedro?
Yay.
Yeah, no, it works. I scrolled down to the end of the article, and you can download the tar.gz. You download it, you run it, it works just fine. I had no idea what I was doing, so I went to our forum thread, downloaded the BMW render test scene, ran that on the X230 because I was stuck in laptop land for the past couple of days. It's like, oh, it took an hour and 20 minutes, but it finished it.
Yeah.
So it works.
Awesome.
I'm surprised you had the patience for an hour and 20 minutes.
I just left it running and went to do something else because there was plenty to do, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, I see Foxy put a thing in the notes because this is what I did. I downloaded it. Pepsi Challenge. Launched it, no issues, and it does have you a nice little screen. It's like, what do you plan on doing? It's like, well, I'm not clever enough to do the 3D animation, 2D, anything like that. However, I know a thing or four about editing video, and it was brave enough to give me that option. It's like, hey, here's the video editor. And I was like, that's right. Let's click that. Oh, boy, is that about as intuitive as a chainsaw that runs on mind control. I don't. There's not. The
chainsaw has what, 2 triggers?
Yeah.
It's a psychic chainsaw, but it doesn't tell you on the box. You have to control it.
Yes.
Genuinely, praise where praise due. Not so much praise where that's due, because just the sniff test on that is I couldn't figure out how to get didn't read anything. But then again, you should to load a clip.
Yeah, a little T down there.
I spent time in this, probably a good 3 or 4 minutes of like, how do I? It's like, no, not yet.
Drag and drop.
I don't trust that. I've been using Linux too long. That didn't exist when I started using. So,
to be fair, even XFCE supports drag and drop now.
Oh, I know it's a thing, but it never. That part doesn't work in my brain meets. But I would say, good on the Blender Foundation. Go try it if it's something you use. I didn't have any crashes with it, but hopefully that'll get some attention in the future. It'd be interesting to have that as an option for editing video under Linux.
Oh, definitely.
All right, video editing, its thing. Since we're talking about that, I saw a nice little tutorial that was posted over on Linux Magazine. All of this is going to be in our show notes. If you're listening, just go to linuxgamecast.com. If you're watching a video, it'll be linked in the show description. But this is using KDN Live and ImageMagick to kind of do we just call them wipes, where I'm looking for it in the video right now. You can watch Pac-Man nom one scene transition to the other, and you're like, oh, that would be easy to make, and you would be wrong. Oh, so horribly wrong. This, you know, using image magic in KDN Live to create the animation mask. This is something that'd be animated. And when you think Pac-Man, you chomp, 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 is taking one scene into another, transition wipe, think Star Wars, something like that. A little more fancy. This falls into a category I like to call technically possible. 100%. Yes, you can do this. You might not like yourself when you get done, but it's a really good learning experience to get familiar. I wouldn't say give this to somebody right out of the box, but learning how to use FFmpeg, Image Magic, and KDN Live to just get it in your headspace of how these things are done. I know a lot of people will tap out as soon as they get down to the script, but pretty good tutorial.
Yeah,
it is. It's actually, if the rest of their tutorials are as good as this one, then they are absolutely worth the, what was it? They have it at the bottom of the article.
Couple dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, $3. $3 if you want to have it as a PDF. And this was very well written. I was actually, it's like, oh, I get this, I get this, I get this. Oh, okay. So yeah, if the rest of them are, it's absolutely worth the money if you want that PDF. Yes.
Oh, well, this isn't this is a great tutorial, and animating masking is one of the techniques I teach my beginning animation students, and is required knowledge to work in the field. So this is something that my beginners learn. And you know, because of the beauty and complexity of graphics programs, there are several ways to accomplish this technique with KDN Live. You could actually, you don't have to use Image Magic. You can use the GIMP to do the animations, or Inkscape. And the author knows this too. And in fact, the author, Paul Brown, points out that you can even use FFmpeg to create an animated mask. And I've done that. You know, I've done that before, just because that was one of the only tools available when Linux was new. The GIMP and FFmpeg were the only ways you could animate on Linux. And this technique is known as creating an animated alpha channel. And I've been using this in animation and editing since the early 90s. So it originally was called alpha channeling, and now sometimes they refer to it as compositing, or, you know, an animated mask. So they're all synonymous with one another. So it's really, really an essential technique to learn if you want to get in the field too.
It's a possible thing to do with KDN Live. Good. I like it. Yeah. It's a good learning experience. Yes. And I'm glad to know that that's doable, and I will never waste the time to do that ever.
Yeah. Aww.
Yeah. I'll stick with our pre-rendered things I did in Blender like 6 years ago. It's like, yeah, they still work. Let's keep going with those. All right. Shiny blinky stuff. So you know this is Pedro's story.
Well, it was mine because no one had picked it when I went to pick my stories. It's Glava, and it's available in the Arch repo if you'd like to get it. And you can also, of course, download the Git. And what it is an OpenGL accelerated audio visualizer type thingy. And I can tell you for a fact that it works. I was trying the 1904 beta in one of the laptops, and after compiling, it was looking for the default files in etc. xdg ubuntu glava, and it was like, yeah, no, that directory doesn't exist. Yeah, it doesn't exist because you're looking for it in the wrong place. So I went back. It's just C. That's about the extent of my programming language. I fixed it. It just pointed it to etc. xdg, and then it works. It works just fine. There is a little bit of a delay, and I didn't see an option to like reduce that delay anywhere. But yeah, there's like a noticeable, it's like 150, 175 milliseconds ish delay between if you're listening to something that has a really defined beat, and you can see that the waves only jump up like 175 something milliseconds after the beat, it's noticeable. So yeah, there's that bit of a delay there. I noticed that.
So is this made basically for people who miss active desktop?
Yeah, pretty much. If you'd like to have GIFs as your background. Yeah.
It 100% it falls into that neat category. There's no question about that. Like, what do you do staring at your desktop? Okay.
I mean, if you have a big enough monitor and you can just have that like above the panel, and the rest of the monitor is filled with windows and doing stuff, yeah, it gives a nice effect. But yeah, no, it uses significant resources in an Intel only laptop, so use it on your desktop instead. Yeah.
Right on.
That's cool, Pedro. Yeah, I didn't test it. But I was just really excited that we have, we could always use more OpenGL audio spectrum visualizers on Linux. I love these blingy visualizers, and I still enjoy using them in VLC and Audacious, which used to be XMMS, which is based off of Winamp. So I've always loved having all the fun blingy effects.
I used to love those way back with XMMS. I mean, I used to build those, and it's like I've had 5 or 6 visualizations. It's like, these are so neat. Something changed. Yeah. I changed, man. Like, I don't care about that anymore.
Yeah, this one would be great if it weren't for that delay, because the moment I noticed that, it's like, oh boy, it's ruined now.
Okay. Well, let's talk about something very fun, very exciting.
Yes. Yay, Sputnik turned 6. Project excuse me. Project Sputnik turns to 6. And what the Sputnik is the project that is released for Dell computers. And actually what it is Dell was the first major computer hardware vendor to see the potential of Linux on the desktop for front-end software engineers and developers, and not just as a back-end for servers and IT. And they were the first major computer distributor to, really think seriously about putting Linux on the desktop. And, Linux on Dell servers and workstations is a huge moneymaker, so it was worth it for them to try selling Linux on consumer desktops. And the founder and lead of Project Sputnik, Barton George, and his team are huge advocates of Linux and open source. And congratulations go to them that this project has continued, and we've got lots of new Project Sputnik releases on laptops and workstations. So that's really cool. Yay!
It is. I remember being very excited. Linux community went haywire way back when, on November 29th in 2012, when the XPS 13 Developer Edition was born. It's like, woo!
Yes.
And then immediately after that, step 2 was like, how do we not pay the Microsoft tax? That was definitely a thing, because before that, you could get a blank machine. It was about as close as you could get. You'd get FreeDOS, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But having official support is great. The XPS 13, it's now in its 7th generation, shipping with 1804, so it's good for another decade. That's how long they last.
As someone who has a XPS 13, it's my work laptop, so it has to run Windows. But I may or may not have put in a second M.2 SSD to test Linux stuff on. Just saying.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. I don't even know the torque screwdriver, or 7. But no, it's awesome to see like where they started and how they are still going. And now it's not just the XPS 13 anymore. Now they have the Precision lines, which are like high-end workstation grade laptops and desktops with Linux. That's very good to see. Very good to see indeed.
Awesome.
Times they are changing.
Yes.
Let's beat this dead horse again.
Yes. Linux on your phone. It people have tried, people have failed, people have tried to get some idea of the market that they would have by launching an Indiegogo for $32 million. But this is not that. This is the Nekuno, something like that. I think. Yeah. Nekuno Mobile. An open phone with Plasma Mobile. It's the KDE mobile implementation that has... It had a much maligned tablet that never saw the light of day, and they've been trying desperately to have it on something, and, well, now it's a phone. And, you know, I will be the first one to say that I am very much looking for a Linux phone, something that is still functional. I know it will never be as good as Android because it will never support all of those apps. That's just inevitable. But something that is at least
I look
functional.
Forward to the feedback for that.
Something that's functional. I'm willing to get like a secondhand Nexus 5 or Nexus 4 and run Ubuntu Mobile on it, or maybe Plasma Mobile. But hey, if the Nekuno people want someone who will point out every single thing that's wrong about their phone, I will be very happy to look at it.
Pedro, that's going to be Linux users in general. This is wrong. And they're not doing it to be mean or malicious. It's just in our DNA.
No.
Yeah.
It's a bug. It's a bug. And
I promise I will give you a fair shake, though.
I think like most of you, anyone listening or watching the show, we've put Linux on a phone at some point out of curiosity. And you've had the neat experience. You're like, okay, now I need to be able to use the phone again.
Yes.
And that's kind of where we are. And yes, I hear you back in the very back, selfish. That happened. I admit that happened, but it didn't stick.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately. And WebOS. Aw. I have open WebOS. Yeah, what? I do have open WebOS on my cell phone. So
I have
that's
a
pretty cool.
BlackBerry tablet with WebOS on it. It's like, that's the thing. All right, let's keep that in the box. Maybe we can sell it in 20 years. It wasn't horrible. It was actually not a bad experience, and it did act real multitasking.
Yeah.
But then again, it rhymed with BlackBerry, and wah. That's the end of that story.
No, they just release Android phones now.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's how they roll. So, as somebody who's been going, really? That's how much the chargers cost? Let's talk about Tesla Model 3 running Ubuntu.
Yes.
And most importantly, YouTube. Yeah, that's the thing. You knew this was going to happen. I'm surprised it took this long, but...
Yes.
This was from... I do not like you, Reddit. The new look is stupid. I don't know what things are. But this is supposed to be our Tesla Motors.
TR Somers? TR Somers, yeah.
That's pretty, all right. This is terrifying, admittedly, but also very, very exciting to have this type. It basically goes on as like, hey man, once you can SSH into something, as most of us know, it's like, yeah, I got it now. We're good.
Yeah, no, look, I JTagged it.
Basically. Oh, and hey, look, it's running XFCE.
Yes.
I'm just saying, you know.
Oh. Well, my feelings on it when I first saw it was, I'm sure Elon's inner Uber nerd would approve, but you know, he knows that it's not safe for the average motorist, but I'm sure he would approve.
Yeah, no, you can see all the specs. It's running an Intel Atom processor. You want an Intel Atom driving your Tesla? But yeah, I guess if you are going low power, it's either an Intel Atom or an ARM processor of some manner. But yeah, no, dude SSH'd into his car. Basically all he does is he spun an X session running on a different TTY, and away we go. He could just have a desktop.
It's cool. It's neat. It's going to pose me with like genuine moral decisions. I was thinking about that with, you know, if you buy a new Android device, it's not when, it's like how many, it's not even days, it's hours until you've rooted it. It's just going to happen. This is going to be a legitimate issue, especially with people on Teslas on leases.
Yeah.
Anyway, I fully expect Elon Tesla as a company to have that locked up in short order after they get done fishing the booster out of the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That one took a dive.
Got a little thirsty. Just a little bit. All right.
Yeah. And yes, we all know we can run Doom on it.
You probably run that.
Yeah, ARM Doom.
All right. What do we got? Somebody's still trying to back up Google Drive from Linux.
Yes,
because Google is, any day now we're going to release that.
Well, everyone is always asking what apps they can use to back up files on Linux to Google Drive. And this article has the top 12 best Google Drive Linux client software. And yeah, it's actually a very, very good software. There's lots of different options. And InSync is really good. GoSync, Overdrive is another really good one.
Lwdw comes pre-installed with quite a few distros.
Yes, and this article was written before Lwdw came out with their Linux client, so that was really cool too. So we have both of those articles in the show notes. And because Google Drive's open API, there are a lot of third-party Google Drive backup and sync apps for the desktop and CLI. And in fact, I've been using TextDrive on the console for quite some time. It's a very good CLI client. So that's really, really awesome. And I also love rclone because it can back up to most of the popular cloud services, including Google Drive, Amazon S3, OneDrive, Dropbox, Mega, Box, etc. And I've actually been using that for quite some time because I have a lot of space on Amazon S3 as well as Dropbox and Box. So it's really nice to have this.
I'm absolutely with you on that one, Jill, because rclone does a very good job of basically syncing whichever folder you tell it to whichever cloud hosting service you want it to. It's like, oh, you want this on Mega? Boom, done. Oh, you want this on Dropbox? Boom, done. Just use rclone. Seriously.
Yeah. Definitely.
If we're going to be gauging these in difficulty to configure and set up, who's the winner?
Lwdw comes pre-installed in a lot of distros, so again, that one wins.
Okay, didn't ask about installing, configuring.
It's completely GUI. You just sign in with Lwdw.
Does it have a wizard? I like wizards.
Yes.
Yes.
And it lets you set how often you'd like.
I refuse to use anything with a setup wizard.
Yeah.
I figured you would, but a lot of people, prefer it's like, okay, I want this to sync at this much time, after this much time, and these folders and whatever else you might want to set up. It's all GUI.
All joking aside, the only thing that worries me about all right, no, that's a lie. I'm still genuinely irritated that Mozilla, I'm looking at the next story. Google has not released Google Drive for the Linux desktop. How? Mm-hmm. How?
Well, their official reason was that there are so many better alternatives. It's like, no, that smells like laziness.
This leads me to part 2 of the statement is that could break at any time.
Yes.
This is true.
Google Drive may very well go away tomorrow if the Googs decide it.
Anyway, I don't know. I just had to get that out on behalf of the people why isn't that a thing? I agree with you. I feel it. Okay, paywall. Paywall's like, not really a paywall. Have you ever been to a website like once and you're like, that's fine. Then you go back to it. And it's like, hey man, you've read like 10 articles. How about giving us a few shekels for that? And you're like, this website's dumb.
Yes, quite a few people have. So many, in fact, that they decided to create a few add-ons to get rid of that paywall thing. And one of the most popular ones was paywall blocker. Paywall blocker. And there are quite a few others in the Firefox extension store thingy. But this one was the only one that got nuked, and the only reason that Mozilla told the maintainer as to why it got nuked was the one that says that Mozilla reserves the right to nuke your extension from orbit if the sun is shining the wrong way. And they did. So whichever the case may be, and whether or not this extension will show back up on the Firefox store remains to be seen. But to be fair, this in essence is basically hijacking your cookies, and when the website goes looking for a specific cookie to see whether or not you're subscribed, this extension tells it, yes, this person is subscribed, go away. And then you get to read all of the articles. I can see how this would be a bad precedent to allow something that is actively exploiting a flaw in the cookie system to let that stay up. And, you know, all the lawyers that might not be too happy that this is happening. So, yeah, no, this isn't exactly an extension that I've personally used. I use ad blockers. I use Privacy Badger, Script Block. And what's the one that applies the promotions on Amazon? Honey? I have that
Honey,
one.
yes. Yeah. I like Honey, yeah. Yeah, and Cory Doctorow, you know, he points out that, yes, as Pedro was saying, there's 2 other bypassing paywall extensions still available in the Mozilla add-on store. You know, what's up with that? And they're still available in the Chrome add-on store, so Google didn't seem to take offense to it.
Yeah. And Google gets very smitey with certain extensions.
Yeah.
They absolutely do, but yeah, I could see that. There's plenty to choose from, and it's the vague wording, I think. It's like, okay, be aware of that, and picking one as opposed to making it a blanket policy to get rid of everything. Like, hey, we're all fair, we're getting smashed. I kind of deal with it the same way that, you know, I run no script, period.
Yeah.
I do. I got to really like your web zone before I'm going to enable that. If your website doesn't render without scripting, I don't read it. You know, that's usually like step 1 with that. But I do want to say maybe an unpopular opinion is, if this is a real problem, I mean, it's never been a problem with me personally to even look into an extension like this existing. It's like, I never ran, this is not a problem in my life. But
no,
if you're visiting a site to the point to where it's triggering their paywall, maybe consider subscribing to the site, because let's face it, me and you both know you have ad blocking enabled already. So, maybe, I don't know. Crazy talk.
Yeah. No. If you are consuming that particular media's content, then by all means give them some money so they can put more. It's chances are you like what you're reading, otherwise you would have gone somewhere else by now.
I'll just read it somewhere else after I get into this site. I don't know. I also understand the other side of, like, I don't like being told what I can and cannot access. You know?
Yeah.
Then it becomes a challenge. It's like, oh, I got to get in there. I don't even want to get in there. I just got to get in there.
But if I go to a website and it immediately blocks my view of what I'm trying to read with GDPR, cookies, the stuff that I have to agree with or they expect me to agree with without reading, then I immediately close it and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the GDPR, as every web zone now has, like, we use cookies. Thank you. I get it. Then again, script block, kids. Use that 100%. Yeah, that's the thing. So keep it in mind if you're wondering where that extension went. That's where it went. Right. Just a quick mention. Something we played around with earlier last week is multi-streaming server. It's an engine. How do you say it? Nginx?
Engine X.
I'd always heard it said as Nginx. So Nginx.
That was so cute. I love that.
RTMP module. Basically, you're going to be sending video streaming to multiple services simultaneously. You can do YouTube, Twitch, Dailymotion, Hit, anything you can send video bits to. This is going to take care of it. I just wanted to give it a little plug. It's really easy to set up. Now, there's a service called Restream, which will do it for free, but it'll put its branding on there, and it has, you know, different tiers. But the good thing about this is, as long as you're not transcoding, We're sending the same bits to Twitch and YouTube.
Yay.
Most importantly, we're running this on a one instance of one thread, you know, on a shared service for $10 a month, which kind of leads you is you can do 3 or 4 streams off like a Raspberry Pi 3 if you have the bandwidth at home to do this. And, you know, if we really wanted to and get fancy with it, we could spool up our own thing, slap a player on it, and be like, hey, look, we're our own CDN for video now. Then we'd be broke instantaneously. But
yes.
That'll be in the show notes if you want to come check that out. Something you've been thinking about. Then again, if you don't care about branding or anything, you can use Restream.io's service for free.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's the thing. It was pretty easy to set up. I think Jordan's even shoved it into a container. So maybe there'll be a link to that. All right. I think we're going to get into a slice of pie. But before we're going to chill out, we got to pay some bills. But we're not going to do that by, hey, buy a mattress ad. Buy ads for mattresses. Yes, here on Weekly Daily Wednesdays.
Yeah, go ahead and buy an ad.
We're going to be rolling out. If you want to support the show, the best way to do that is through Patreon. And all the beautiful people currently in chat right now hanging out in Discord are our beautiful party patrons. Christmas time, it's that time of year. Once again, it's Christmas time, South Park. That's the only thing I know about Christmas. But if you're going to be buying stuff, we got Amazon affiliate links. That doesn't cost you anything. We get a little taste of that action. We have Humble. New bundle just came out. We get a cut of that if you click on that. Bitcoin, I heard it's going away, so just send them all to us. We want to thank all 113 beautiful party patrons. Making it possible.
We love you.
265 a week. We throw in some bonuses. You get early access, like a show you might not even know about, Doctor Who. We do a Doctor Who podcast every year, and there's a video component to it, or audio if you want to listen to that. We do have a pre-super shows, and if you like our shenanigans, we get an entire extra hour delivered. It's our production meeting. You can even join in Discord and listen to that live before the show every Saturday. And we do have early access to our Uncut series. That's the, and it helps us finance crazy ideas, where we have Friday, which is mess around night. Let's try new things. One of the new things we tried, Nerd Jeopardy. And that was kind of fun. I enjoyed it.
That was a lot of fun.
Pedro, you can rock the Tuesday streams, but normally Pedro was busy moving and all this, all these random excuses.
Not having a desk and shouting at Amazon, just like, bring me my desk.
You just can't trust that, man. So we did some of that business. And are you guys still going to be rocking and rolling on Thursdays with D and something? Yes. Double D's?
Yeah, we're still going to do the Double D Dungeon Crawler on Jordan stream, so that's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. So part 2 is tomorrow.
I'll keep an eye out for that. I'll try. It's one of those things. It's like cantaloupe. Maybe one day I'll learn to understand it and trust it. We also have a wish zone. If you want to kick us that way, we got a couple things. Basic. I'm actively trying to talk myself into buying that video card, but I might be getting a Navi later on. But we hit the goal.
What's this?
Here it is. Surprise. Thought I was going to forget about it.
Merch.
Yep. We finally got merch. We have the one chair, the classic, the Duke. Francophile. I spent some time on that. That was the one I did a little bit of work on. We have the 3-chair moon. And this will only be, this is the only one that I'm going to be like, hey, it's going to go away, because it'll go away until next year, and there'll be a better version of it next year. Hail Santa.
So it is that time of year, so hail Santa.
It's Christmas time. Mugs, stickers, tees, long hoodies, all that fun stuff is now available. Has Linux Gamecast on the back, so people will know to stay away from you at quite a distance. It'll be very visible. They're like, whoa, that's a Linux person. Nope. Or you might mess up. Have you ever messed up and worn one of your Linux t-shirts and you're like, oh no, that person's looking, oh no, they're going to come over here and talk to me.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. But thank you. Thank you, each and every one of you, for making this possible. And see, that was a lot better than a mattress ad.
Yes. Oh, much better.
I mean, we're basically advertising ourselves, so hey.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
And there's a big store button on linuxgamecast.com where you can just click on it. It'll take you there.
It's big.
Yeah.
I tried to make it the other day. Did I mess up the CSS? It should be the same size as the other buttons.
It's bigger now.
It's bigger now.
Let's get into a slice of pie.
Oh, on a yellow
relevant.
T-shirt. Oh, this is great. This is learn how to make your own and use your own Beowulf cluster. This is the MIDI nodes Raspberry Pi 3 computer on modules carrier board that can accommodate up to 5 Raspberry Pi computer on modules in a small, easy to use platform. And there is even an integrated gigabit switch for networking. So it's got 1 gigabit switch, but it knows to switch among the nodes, and that's really, really awesome because on most systems you have to have separate network devices for each node. So that is really cool. And it can be used for AI, containers, the Internet of Things, and other industries that require remote computing, or as a great way to learn computer clustering. Don't we all want to learn how to create our own Beowulf cluster? And it's nice to see another awesome application for the Raspberry Pi compute module. You know, it's not that often that we get to talk about the compute module.
Yeah, and every time we do,
all the things.
Yeah, every time we do, we're like, someone finds something that will actually make use of the compute module. It's just something that no other Raspberry Pi could do, that specific form factor would allow you to do.
I saw somebody that made use of one.
Yeah.
Yes.
They made a gaming handheld with it.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that one.
That's right. We talked about that one. Yeah.
This is kind of interesting, especially when you dial in that it's got switched gig Ethernet on it. So I was like, huh.
Wolf cluster. The unit cost about, was it $260? I believe. Yeah.
It's going to be between $259 and $268. So
yeah.
That, yeah, I mean, just having a switch gigabit, AI, cheap AI on a budget. I don't know. It's a lot cheaper than the Tesla business. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, years ago, I used to dream of making my own Beowulf cluster, but I kind of already have, of course, with my animation render farm and all my Blade servers. But this is nice because it's it's a Raspberry Pi. It's awesome.
Yep. Indeed. What else can we do with pies this week, Pedro?
Well, this week we can basically blow my socks off, because when I read the URL for this news, it's like GameCube memory card Raspberry Pi. It's like, oh, it's going to be one of those novelty cases that someone puts a Raspberry Pi inside the memory card for it. Nope. No, they went full on serial over memory card with this one. So basically, they give you the pinouts and the layouts of the memory card. Then they hooked some wires to it. They plugged those wires to the GPIO of the Raspberry Pi, and they say, well, now we can load games into the memory card. We can edit the saves that are in that memory card and the games that are in that memory card. We can basically interface 100% with the GameCube through the memory card using a Raspberry Pi.
So cool.
How insane is that?
You know, there's having a hobby, then there's this.
Yes. It's like, kudos. I applaud you. That absolutely rocked the socks off my feet, and I'm like, what the? How? Seriously.
I have nothing but undying love when I just read the word logic analyzer. I was like, oh, yeah. That somebody's interested in getting us done or burning a few months. Definitely having a project for something to do. What's the end goal of this, Pedro?
Well, he doesn't know. The person who made this does not know. It's like, yeah, I can use this for a number of things, but I'm still unsure about what exactly to do next. So yeah, no, it's right now it's just a neat thing what he made that can do a lot of things, but it doesn't have a specific use.
Hey, maybe you're working on a neat thing, something made of awesome sauce, and you want to tell us about it. We'd love to talk about it. And an easy way to do that is head over to our contact page. Slam that contact button. See, I told you that store, same size as support, Pedro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just make sure you pick the correct topic, LWDW, or if you want to talk gaming, we get that going down. Or if you have games, use that one. Or relationship advice, if you're particularly brave. Prove you're not a robot, which kind of works sometimes. I don't know. It believes me in this web browser, but in Chrome, it's not having it, man. It's like, hey, I need you to find some traffic lights for me.
No, in Chrome, it's Google going, hold on, you're using our browser. You're going to train our AI. Okay, find the street lights.
I don't know, man. Street lights, they're all the same. They look like cardboard.
They look delicious. Someone was asking me about some cardboard. Hey, Pedro.
Yes.
Have you thought about doing make use of video with cardboard? I made a 360 controller battery compartment out of cardboard once. What could you make with cardboard, Pedro? Cody. Well, I could live out of cardboard, which I've been doing for the past couple of days, because that's where all my stuff is, because I didn't have a desk to put it on. Yeah. And there's the desk and more cardboard right there.
Yeah.
Is that enough cardboard for you, Cody? Because it certainly is for me.
I don't know, man. I mean, you can make a 360 controller battery compartment out of cardboard. You know what? You just cut out the middleman and buy one from Nintendo, right? Don't they sell cardboard kits for this? Whatever.
Yes, the Switch. Yeah, the Switch cardboard. Yep.
But look, you have a gang of cardboard now. I mean, you have a tsunami of cardboard behind you. You could fit like 2 Pedros in that box, so...
Yeah.
It's very thin, that specific one, but you can fit several of me in all the cardboard boxes that we used. Yeah.
I think what Pedro's saying is he'll be using... What he'll be making with his excess cardboard is a container to put the after-move junk into and take out to the wheelie bin.
I've already done quite a few of those. Okay. There's more.
There's always more, man. You're like, what? Then you get to the part of the move where you're like, can I bear it apart? Yeah, I can. Bye.
It's like, do I really? Yeah. No. I haven't used this in 3 years. Bye.
Oh man. But then it's like 4 months later, you're like, oh, why did I throw that away? Jeez. Every day is truly a struggle.
You can use the cardboard to build a case for a new Ryzen system.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I've built cases out of cardboard before.
Yeah, no.
Listen,
see, that's even more ghetto than how far down I'm willing to go.
You got to be very distinguished with it. In university, that was a very valid thing to do as pizza boxes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then again, it was desktop PCs too. Not everything was a tower.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of pizza boxes, man. We can make you a tower of pizza and greasy. It'll smell delicious once you render something.
And it will be slightly askew like the PS4.
And it'll be on fire. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to do better than that. We're going to roll out of here. Thanks for showing up. We're going to do some credits. How about that?
Aw. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Maybe we're going to do some credits. I don't know.
Are
we gonna do
I was promised credits.
Yay! We need our credits.
No, we're not doing credits this week.
Okay, no credits. You will have to answer to the Patreons. There we go.
Episode 147.
Man,
that's cool, Ben.
It was all over. That works, sort of.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Aw. Thank you, Ben and Pedro, as always.
And thank you,
so
Jill.
much fun.
I think I have everyone's name in there this week. I'm sure I'll find out.
Yes.
Yes, where's my name?
Yeah, is Dirty Dean in there this time? Yep, there he is.
Yes.
We made sure, Dirty Dean, you're in there.
Yeah, no, even the real Pedro Mateus.
Yes. Yay, we love you, chat room. Go buy some merch.
Brad.
All right, then that's a show.
Boom.
Save the things.
Okay. Right. I'm going to order some pizza.
Okay.
You didn't have to make the case right now, man.
Yeah. That's good, Ben.
But I need my wallet first. Hold on. Give me a moment.
Pretty sure after shows the view side.
Oh yeah, that's a cool picture in the next Skinner. I'm sure you've made computer cases out of cardboard. My husband makes cardboard shelves, and actually are pretty strong and work pretty good. And he builds tanks out of cardboard models. So he does that for work and for leisure, and they're really neat. It's a whole art and science of it.
Arts and science. Cardboard. That's practical. Corrugated cardboard can be very resilient and rigid.
Yes. Oh my god, that just reminded me of something. I had one of my students, one of my older students years ago. He always kind of looked a little bit like a bum, and people used to tease him, you know, where he lives on campus in cardboard. And I asked him one time, because this is a total joke. He's a good friend as well. But I asked him, "What's your housing preference, flat or corrugated?" And all the students started laughing.
I would have went straight to the dean. Like, guess who's not paying tuition this quarter?
Yeah, no, he's one of my advanced students that was also a dear friend. So we just would have fun all the time.
Triggered.
He kind of had long frizzy hair, and he was a ballet dancer, and so he was always in his ballet garb and come into class. A little fuzzy.
I was thrown off. I thought I had a completely different line because I heard belly dancer.
No, ballet dancer.
Pedro, I'm proud of you.
Why?
Yeah.
Because the pizza website doesn't auto-populate with your information.
Which one
doesn't?
Yeah.
Even if it gives me the option, I say no.
No.
Then I retract my proudness. I was like, oh no, I don't order enough pizza. Like, are you kidding, man? I order pizza all the time.
I order pizza once a week.
I noticed one thing on Chrome earlier this week when I was, it was when I was doing the thing for Teespring. You know, Chrome is like, hey, would you like me to auto-suggest a really strong password for you? It's like, okay, you're going to give me an option to write that down somewhere, Chrome?
Yeah.
No, they specifically say you don't have to remember it. We will save it. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, PC and a PS3. That case.
That wouldn't be hard. Why don't you build a PC instead of a kitten?
Oh, that would be a Raspberry Pi, and no, you would have to take out. Oh no, let's not go there. Poor kitty. You could embed Raspberry Pi Zero. Oh no, let's not go there.
LastPass? I don't use any of those. I use Chrome. Thanks, Chrome. This is real fun. This is why I don't, like, at home, I'm just like, if you're in the house, man, F it.
Yeah.
Because, you know how, GNOME keyring is like, I'm keeping you protected. I won't give people access to your Chrome stuff. Yeah, you know what? If I launch Chrome, Chromium, and Brave real quick, that never comes up, Ubuntu.
Yeah.
So I can launch those.
It does that on XFCE a lot.
It does. And all my passwords right there. It's right into Chrome, too. All right, reveal passwords. GNOME keyring is an annoyance, not a security feature. Because sometimes it comes up. I know if I wait, just let everything calm down, just open a browser, it'll come up.
And it drives me up the wall.
And getting rid of that thing, whew. All right, we're gonna let that run for a minute. I'm gonna grab some tea. We'll probably hang out for another 5 minutes, and
yes.
You'll have to keep the conversation going, Joe. Pedro is trying to order toppings right now, and he can't decide. Does he want pineapple and bacon?
Ooh, yummy. No problem.
Tuna and pineapple. Yeah. Yes, I'm that person.
Yeah, Romeo said vicious. Yeah, I always love that line. Yeah, true that, huh, Strider? Yeah. I'm sure you can safely, embed Raspberry Pi Zero in kitties. I mean, you can put chips in them, and the Raspberry Pis are getting smaller, so maybe that could be a thing. But poor kitty. Aw. Yeah, Patrick, I don't like talking kitty poultry. Cruelty. Oh my god, my words today.
Yes, I too don't like talking kitty poultry.
Yes, you can put it in a collar. Definitely. Yeah. S. Michelle will not be happy now. But she knows I don't mean that, because I have 2 kitties that I love dearly.
There are people around here who take their cats out on a leash, and I'm wondering how.
Yeah.
How? Because every single cat that I've ever tried to put a leash on, it just went down on all fours and wouldn't move.
You have to have them pretty young usually, like as kittens, and you can kind of train them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know our we have a kitty. He's just a year old, and we could probably train him too. He's so friendly. He'd probably do it. But yeah, it just depends on the cat too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Linux Skinner, that's cool too. People don't realize, but cats are one of the most trainable animals. Within like 2 weeks of owning 2 feral cats, we've trained them not to, jump on the table, and not to, they know not to. So
I just booped them across the nose with some rolled up newspapers,
Yeah.
like boop.
Yeah, that's a good technique. Or we just yell no, and they don't like the yelling, and so associate that with not going on things. And
yeah, if you want to be mean to your cat, whenever they do something you don't want them to do, you turn on the vacuum cleaner.
Yes,
and then
there
you
go.
just randomly turn on the vacuum cleaner when you want to do some cleaning, and they'll go, "Oh God, what have I done?"
Yes, ours. What he does is he launches himself through the cat door. Here's vacuum launches. Normally, it takes him a long time to get through the cat door because he paws at it. When the vacuum's on, whoosh.
Wow, Domino's, that's a loud tracker you have there.
That's cute, Patrick. Aww. But yeah, my kitties know they're not allowed to go into the bedrooms in the house, including my computer room. And I don't have them when I'm broadcasting. I have them out during the day, but even at night, they know not to come in here. It's hard to have kitties when you're allergic and OCD. So it's but I love them. But it's really difficult. But fortunately, our newest one, the youngest one, Frodo, the black kitty, our black panther, he is so clean, and he has very short hair, very little shedding, and his hair does not bother me, which is really nice. But I still don't want him, in my room.
Yeah, and cats with thicker hair, even if they shed, there's far less likely that those hairs will get airborne and up your nostrils.
Exactly. exactly. And this is like the perfect cat for me. Being ill, it's the first cat I've ever had that I'm literally not sick all the time.
Yeah.
So I'd set the Nest thermostat to cut on during the show. It didn't. Just go cut the heat on. Pick a number. What temperature do you think the rest of the house is right now?
2.
Not that bad, jeez.
Because that's what it is outside right now.
Oh boy, I'd say 15 Celsius.
10.
10. Okay. Yeah, cool.
It won't be when we get done with the after show. Heat's on now.
Good.
I mean, it's cold, man.
Aw.
I guess it wouldn't be bad if I wasn't coming out of here where it's nice and toasty.
Yeah, it's actually cool for us here. We've had the lowest temperature today that we've had all year.
What is it, 25?
But yeah, yeah. No, it's probably, yeah, probably about 17, 18. Yeah, it's in the 50s, so Fahrenheit. But yeah, I noticed my Discord connection went down for a minute. And I was getting a little nervous because when it's been raining a lot. Whenever it rains a lot, sometimes our cable goes down. I'm like, oh shoot. But then I checked, it was just Discord because the cable, my connection was fine.
Yeah,
so it was in and out.
Yeah, you so go in and out on Discord. That's the thing.
It also blinked for me.
Yeah, did it? Yeah, because during this last update of Discord, I noticed there have been more issues. But
yeah, no, for me it was just a blink. It's like, oh, let's just be quiet for a second here. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
But maybe your Christmas present will fix it, Jill.
Yes, yes. Yay, 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 yay. I'm getting some symmetric internet. Yay. Fiber from my cable company. That's nice.
That's right. 1 megabit T1.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll deal with that in a few weeks.
Mind that you can, I mean, actively, and they're sold every day. T1s.
Oh, I know. The remote areas, people still buy them.
Most of the most of the market share when it came to home connections here in the UK until apparently 2 years ago was dial-up.
Yeah.
Well, it's only very recently come down to the 40-something%.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Look up the current subscriber base for AOL if you want to have what, really?
Wow.
Yes.
It is not an insignificant number. But didn't SpaceX launch the 64 satellites earlier? Not today, but a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the other launch, which they landed that one correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing that they can recover. You know, that's just freaking amazing when you see in life how tall those things are. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you look at like
15 stories.
Yeah.
45 meters that they're putting. Yeah, I do like the fact that a non-successful launch is considering that we didn't land the thing that went in orbit.
Yeah. It went to space, it came back, and it didn't land quite right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It went down very gracefully. I watched the video of it. It almost completely stopped rotation. I mean, it came down. Then you could see it go behind the tree, and it just kept going
behind the trees, and you could see the tip and go.
Like yeah.
And I smacked the microphone.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. So whenever we take anyone to get to SpaceX to see one of the rockets, everyone is just amazed. It's that freaking big. Yeah. Like when you stand by it, look up. You know, it's for me. I have a hard time seeing the top of it, but like. It's amazing, and they land those on those barges that are wobbling in the ocean. You know?
No, Jill, that's just what they'd have you believe. I've seen conspiracies.
I know.
Like, no, it's not real. They don't actually do that. the Love Boat.
Yeah.
Boat of Love, or whatever they've named it. Current. Hey, those space satellites are not going to contribute to the junk because that was part of the agreement with the North American government, was that they're going to like self-burn.
Yeah.
So they have to actively keep putting them up there. And if they're unmaintained, they just all into Australia. Do you hear that, Australia?
It's okay. Australia doesn't exist anyway. It's a made-up country. Oh, the internet.
Skylab, Mir. Oh, I know where we're going to end up doing the morning radio show in Australia. I know exactly where it's going to be. Alice Springs.
What's so special about Alice Springs?
Because
are you
every
simulcasting then?
single day of the year, anytime I look at the world map that comes up on like Sky News or BBC, it's the one in the middle of Australia that's always red. 365 days a year. It's always 34 plus.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's back in the middle of the outback. Neat.
Yeah. Like Ayers Rock.
The humidity in the air? What are you talking about? Slap.
Humidity. Oh, man. Everything held on pretty well. Let's see. Fortnite, Navi. Has AMD said anything about those cards yet? I want to believe.
Let's see. Did the leak come from like video cards?
No.
Because those guys in WCCF Tech, they're usually spot on.
It was from Adored TV. This leak is courtesy of Adored. Which I like watching Adored TV, like the long ones. It's a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though. Kind of like I watch like the Moonbat conspiracy documentaries. It's like candy because the dude will start like one truth. But he'll go 45 minutes of speculation building on that one grain. Like, you're getting out there, man.
Arthur and I haven't had time to try anything.
Yeah,
I don't have a desk.
Moving.
But think about that, man. A 3080 for $249, 8 gigs GDR6, 150 watt TDP.
It doesn't need to beat the 1080. It just needs to be competitive. It needs to be the Ryzen to the 1080.
If
just
you can deliver me,
there.
today. Close. I mean, if you can get me 95% 1080 performance for $249,
that's half the price of a 1080 right now. So,
well, all the news with the 20 series on NVIDIA is going to be a boon for AMD if they can if this is as good as they say it is. They're going to knock it out of the park. I hope so. We want them to.
Well, they had the, like, no joke, the, what's the new one? The 580 is the new one?
Yeah.
590.
Yes.
590. Yeah, they had the 590 on sale. It was posted on Tom's Hardware. It was some deal for like under $200 today. It's like 170 something dollars.
Yeah.
See, that's what I played for my 560, so that's cool.
To be fair, they're just rehashing that same GPU.
Chibs. This is where things get tricky. I think VAPI, I'll be able to use that without issues. But we will definitely delve into having a video card in the system not videoing at all. Basically just being NV encoder. I don't know if I can get away with that. I haven't done enough research into it.
Hardware accelerated encoding AMD. Let's see.
It's the VAPI.
The VCE.
VCE, I don't know.
Video coding engine. It's their video encoding ASIC implementation. I knew they had one. It's just, yeah, VCE.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Getting an 2 cards for SLI is pointless. Now, nobody's doing SLI.
Especially on Linux.
Well, that's non-existent.
You have what? Serious M3 and Doom 3 that support SLI on Linux?
Having 2 cards makes sense if you want to take, like, ultimately, like my current plan right now, hopefully these cards, and these cards will be released the first quarter of 2022. I'm like, all right, so I'm getting the NVIDIA card. I want to have that. I want to get a 2070 for, we can do 1080p streams, we can do gaming, stuff like that without bogging it down, and use the NV encoder for that to do the live stream, so we're not hitting the CPU, and use the 980 since the Maxwell series supports lossless, we can use that for the recording. Yeah. That's my plan. Which also involves losing some of my USB holes. So then I have to... This is... Yeah. It's a 69 situation. Either way, I'm going to get screwed. So...
Yeah. See, what I want to do is to have one of those really stupidly expensive G-Sync monitors, have that one being run off of the 1080 on its own, and then have a second card with like this 4K screen off to the side.
I was talking to Jordan the other day. We were on video. Oh, it's when we were playing with like the Engine X for the multi-stream.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yeah, it'd be really nice, to be able to use this, because his UHD monitor, his other one, first world Canadian problems.
This one also has FreeSync.
And he was like, man, I wish it was like, wait a minute. He looks over at his Vega laptop and he's like, aha. I can. It's like, guess you could make it a thing.
Yeah. It's just that pushing 4K with that really, really underpowered Steambox 360, not going to happen.
Running Unity games. Not going to happen.
Yeah, so they just lock up.
I mean, for Pedro. Pedro built it wrong. Jordan doesn't have any problem with the Unity games, but...
It's just Unity games, I don't get it.
And just for Pedro, too.
No, it's not just me. There's actually more people who are having these issues with the RX 480s and 580s and whatnots. And it just seems to hit specific people. But there was someone on the Steam forums for the longest journey, the Canada survival snow one. And yeah, no, there were like 3 or 4 people saying, yes, I have this issue, and it seems to happen only with Unity games. I don't know, maybe it's Fedora's implementation of Mesa that's just slightly off.
That's funny.
Yeah. I will probably have to switch from Fedora to like Ubuntu 1804 or something on that box and set up the Steam session there, now that they actually have the 419 kernel in the mainline repo. So yeah.
If you're looking for some cheap games, this is not an affiliate link or anything like that. Fanatical has got a good Kingslayer bundle. Couple of decent Linux titles, yes. But I wanted to play this and test it out on Proton. The what is it called? Styx. Shards of Darkness. It's double insulting because it's a Unreal Engine game, but it does work with Proton and it has multiplayer.
Ooh.
So yeah, Shadowrun. I mean, it's like $6 too. $4.99. I take that back.
Yeah, Fanatical does some very good bundles every now and then.
I got a bunch of keys. If anybody can hit me, I'm like, hey, I want this particular game. I tried Metal Slug X, and Proton's not liking that on my end for whatever reason.
Oh, King of Fighters 13. Maybe that'll work with the protons.
Mm. All right. What do you got planned for this afternoon, Jill? You've been awfully quiet. I'm worried.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just a little bit tired, but actually I have a lot of things I need to do, including studying up a little bit for the game tomorrow, and get some exercise because I had just gotten up before Lwdw, so I haven't done much today except do a show.
Yeah, no, Jill is a suitable replacement for Strider.
Oh.
Waking up just before the show.
No.
Not really. I mean, you gotta jack your hair up first.
Yeah.
Aww.
I mean, have no illusion that it's just get on. Like,
yeah. No, I've never, I always have at least, I try and give myself at least 2 hours before the show starts because I like to prep, take time to prep. So, but the one day a few weeks ago was about an hour, and that was a little too close for me. I didn't like that. That's not normal. That was because I couldn't wake up, and I think it was my medicine that kept me asleep. So.
Or it could be like, I think the best hard mode was we're about 3/4 of the way done with the show, and I get a message. It's like, damn it. Strider waking up.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Bounce out here. What type of pizza did you end up getting, man?
Yeah.
I got the cheeseburger one for myself and the veggie volcano for Nori.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell's a cheeseburger pizza?
Oh, it's disgusting, Ben.
It's absolutely, it'll clog your veins just looking at it.
Yes.
But yeah, it's basically you take a McDonald's burger and you slice up the beef patty and you spread it around the pizza. Speaking of the devil, I'll be right back.
Oh.
That's right. We get to see what a cheeseburger pizza is.
Yeah. Their veggie pizzas are really good. Domino's has really their pizzas. Well, they had to stay relevant. Their veggie is actually really good.
I would cut up the volume and we could creep on what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of person. Also, I don't care enough. How long does it take?
Yes.
Pizza watch.
Yeah. Steve husband loves cheeseburger pizza. I actually can't stand it.
Pizza.
Yeah.
He's gonna drop it. Watch him. It's Domino's commercial. It's a big ploy. BJ. Oh, all right. I read that wrong, Steve. That's my bad. I didn't say it out loud.
Oh, there's our kitties. Our kitties.
Outside,
yes.
cold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you enjoy your cheeseburger pizza?
I haven't had it yet, so let's wrap this up.
Oh no, this is even better.
Yeah. Food.
Can you smell it?
If it was just me, I wouldn't mind it, but Nori's hungry, so.
Okay.
Oh, do you have one of those stupid couple rules?
No, she just doesn't want to show her pajamas on camera.
Oh, nobody's watching this. All right, beautiful people. We're gonna bounce out of here. We'll see you next week. Stop by. Say hi.
Yeah.
Janet.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
We love you.